If you remember, I think it was late last week, we talked about corporal punishment. There was a Missouri school district who approved bringing back paddling or corporal punishment to discipline its students. And a lot of people in Texas were afraid of it. In fact, they've done a new survey looking into it, and it focused primarily on Texas and got a lot of people's reaction. On the line with us is licensed professional counselor who specializes in family counseling and parenting advice. Dr. Dean Beckloff is with us, and we're going to ask him his thoughts on corporal punishment. Dr. Beckloff, welcome to the Casey Bartholomew Show on News Talk 820 WBAP.
It's great to be with you.
Thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it. So you're a licensed counselor. You specialize in parenting advice, it says. What is your take on the idea of spanking or corporal punishment?
Well, I'll just tell you, I'm well acquainted with spanking. I was raised in the 50s and 60s. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit old. And, my parents didn't want any spoiled kids. So, yeah, I had it. And okay. I'll tell you, I turned out great. I just don't want you to call my wife, okay? No, do not contact her.
How does your wife feel about spanking? Just out of curiosity, if we want to get it. No, I'm kidding. But getting into the so you went through it. I'm not as old as you, but I was spanked by my parents. And I'll be honest with you right off the bat, I don't have a problem as long as it doesn't cross over that very fine line into abuse. I don't have a problem with parents doing it. My problem comes when a parent is willing to sign off on a stranger doing it.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of parents that do not want that. They don't want their kids being spanked. Now, I also started my career as a school teacher. I was going to be teaching sixth graders. I was in Oklahoma. They handed me a grade book because in 1980, there were no computers in the schools. And they gave me a paddle and said, get to work.
Wow.
So,
did you use it?
I tried, and then I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to do what I know is good, which is a lot of encouragement, a lot of positivity. Parents want their teachers to be positive with their kids and affirm them. And I'm going to also set limits, have consequences, but I'm not going to use that. And I had, I'm sorry, I'm not bragging. It's just fact that my kids turned out great. My kids had great scores, and I was known for having good classroom management. And so I took that into parenthood, and I never raised a paddle on my kids. And right now, I think I have two really good adult kids.
Are you suggesting then that the paddling or spanking on anybody's part is a bad move?
We don't know about that in terms of research. The research shows that steady diet of it turns things negatively for the kids. Steady diet. We don't know about 1 or 2 or 6. We don't know, but we do know steady diet tends to turn out adults who are struggling with their impulses, hot-headedness, lots of depression, and you can imagine lots of anxiety.
So it could lead to kids who don't have a proper handle on their emotions, let's say, on some level?
Yes, absolutely. And it's sad because that can happen. You can have kids. Now, emotions are hard. I mean, that's one of the hard parts about parenting. And if you tend to use spanking as the first tool, then it can be something that can quickly go way south because we are people. We have emotions and we get upset. So it's something to really be considered. And I will tell you, in the last 40 years, most parents are using that as their last resort. And I think that's what's going to happen in this school district, too. It's supposed to be the last resort, and only the principal, not some teacher that is totally frustrated with the kid, and the parent has to sign off for it.
I don't have like I said, when you say as a last resort, I don't have a problem with being a last resort. I spanked my kids, and it was the absolute last thing. If it got to that, then my feeling was they knew it was serious, but it happened rarely. I think I spanked my daughter 3 times, and she's 22 years old right now. So you are like most people that I talk to here, and I'm in Dallas too. Our office is in Dallas, and you can find us at drbeckloff.com. But that's the parents that I see that tell me that's
what happened to them. And like you said, most parents are probably not going to want somebody spanking their kid.
And that's where it comes down to, is like I said last week when it happened, and I don't fall into that line where I think that schools changed when we started taking spanking out of the schools. I think it changed when we started socially promoting and not caring about whether or not the kids were actually getting educated, in my personal opinion. But I wouldn't sign off on somebody else striking my kid. They can punish them at the school level where there's detentions and suspensions, and if that becomes a constant problem, then I'll take care of it at home. That's my job. To me, that's my job as the parent.
I mean, if somebody asked me today, are those kids up there just really terrible, bad, rotten kids? I don't know. But, you know.
Well, my wife is from Missouri, so I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But there's a lot of things that can be going on with the kid, and obviously we want to take a deeper look, and we need to.
Yeah. But I, you know, like I said, I can't wrap my head around the idea of letting somebody else strike my child, because I've said, now I would tell a teacher this, if they accidentally make a mistake and they don't find that paper where I signed off on it, and they won't, and anybody spanks my kid, I'm coming down to the school and I'm going to start turning people over my knee. All over the place, and they're gonna, we're gonna have a hard time with it. But it sounds like the best thing to do is for a parent to do it. From your standpoint, is for a parent to do it, and for as a last resort, and not have other people come in and do it.
You know, good discipline means learning. Disciple means a learner. We want our kids growing up and realizing that it's not bad mom, bad world, bad teacher, bad anybody, but you are responsible for what befalls you. And consistency, then, whatever you do, consistency with consequences, following through, the real work of parenting, which is tough. I read this one time, a mom said, you get superhuman strength in times of great distress, and last night I ripped the cork out of the bottle when my toddler was tantruming.
Okay. I lifted the cork. Hey, that always worked. Luckily, my kids are a little bit older now, so I don't have to rip the cork out of the bottle anymore. All right. Dr. Beckloff, we're up against the break. Thanks so much for taking the time to come on with us, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Hey, it was great being here. Thank you.